G'day everyone, here today we're looking at a plant called Tacitus Bellus. I've had this for, like all the rest of them, quite a few years. This one here, you can see it's got quite a fair few offsets. And alongside is another one. You can see the offset beneath it there. They're actually slowly coming out of their dormant period. And if you can notice, I don't know if you can see, but right down there, if I can focus, it's actually starting to throw out its flowering spike, because today's date, we're in July the 17th. They flower during spring, and they've got a star-shaped flower with 5 petals. Pinky in colour. These you can actually grow from seed or from leaf cuttings. I've actually got a few growing from leaf cuttings at the moment. You could say hardy plant, but doesn't require full sun. Where it grows in its natural habitat, it's mainly found around the sort along cliff faces, in shaded areas. So morning sun would be ideal, and no sort of like afternoon sun. What else? That's all I could think of actually. Soil conditions, fairly well drained soil. Water moderately during the growing period. Like with any succulent, wait till they dry out. During the winter time, only water them after, say, 2 to 3 weeks, so they don't perish, dry out totally. There are a few more. Actually, this are the offsets off the second plant I showed you. Normally in the wild, you'll find it more like the one on the left, more flat to the ground. This one here is actually got a double head on it. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a double head on it. I'll show you the ones that I grew from leaf. These are the ones I grew from leaf cuttings. Out of, say, 15 leaf, I got 6, maybe 7. I've got a juvenile, having problems with that one, but these ones have kicked off really well. You can see the offsets. These are, you could say, about 2 years old. Well, they come from Mexico. beautiful in flower. Oh, the flowers are just magnificent, as you'll see later on, as I will continue this video about this plant in spring when they're about to flower, so you've got an idea of what they look like at their dormant state till the stage where they're about to flower. They grow up to around about 10 centimeters in diameter, and the stamen, I would just say the flowering stalk, grows up to about 10 centimeters or so in height, and multiple flowers on the stem. So we'll have a wait and see till spring and see the flowers when they're starting to emerge. I'll do some stages of when the flowers, the stems are starting to come up. Then I'll do another video of them when they're actually in flower. Here is my Tacitus Bellus. It's about to flower. It's throwing out flowering spikes. This is the largest one out of the lot. This is one of an offset off another one that I divided. All these ones here are actually, and one that's just down below here, if you can see, they're actually propagated by leaf propagation. And some of these ones here from leaf propagation, they're roughly about maybe 2 years old, and they're starting to flower. But as you notice, as you can see, that out of that one, there's actually two. It's like it's got like a multi head on it. And I can't wait till they flower. I won't release the video till they actually flower, so there's going to be another update on when they're about to flower, and hopefully another one after that. Then I'll put it all together and make one complete video. So just a bit of an update on this. Here is my Tacitus Bellus about to come into bloom. Hasn't got much longer. Maybe another week, or maybe a couple of days. But it's just going to be magnificent once it all comes into flower. It'll be just one massive pinky red colour. So Yeah. Well, the next video be when she's flowering in all her glory. G'day everyone, here we are in the hothouse, and today we're looking at Tacitus Bellus, that's in flower. There's 8 pots here. This is the largest right here, which has got quite a fair few offsets. They come from Mexico, up in the mountains. They're mainly found amongst the rocky outcrop up there. Definitely need porous soil, as they're prone to root rot if water too much. So in watering, best to water properly, then let it dry out when it's totally dried out. Mainly water during the growing season, like at the moment, while it's in flower. And come winter time, sort of reduce it. Just only water it when the soil's totally dry. Like over here, I've got this one right here in front of us. Hasn't got any flowers, nor does that one right there, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 pots here that are actually flowering, coming in bloom or coming into bloom. Like these two right here, they haven't come into bloom. There's individuals, but I could say easy to grow. You can actually grow them from leaf cuttings. I have propagated these ones from leaf cuttings. I've actually propagated how many? I think 7 from leaf cuttings, and some of them have got so there's 2 offsets, or some have got 3. But most of them have got 2 offsets. They've always been in the hothouse, but they do need cooler temperatures, they say, for it to go into flower. But really nice, lovely flower. This camera really doesn't do the flowers any justice, really. I'm only using a GoPro 7. And I've got another 2 on the other side. I'll show them to you. They're also in flower. Okay, here's the others that I've got that are in flower. There's 2. Actually, this one here and the one at the back, I think, yeah, the one at the back of this one is an offset off this one. And this one's actually producing a lot of offsets at the very bottom. They can offset up to about 4 inches across. The flowers are an inch, close to an inch across. But beautiful to see them in bloom. When I first got my first plant, they were very hard to come across. There was only, I actually got mine because I actually belonged to the Cactus Society at one stage. And that's where I got some of my plants that you couldn't get down at your local nursery. But now they actually selling these at the nursery, so they're not scarce. They're pretty easy to come across. Never grown any from seed, but I don't know. You'd need a particular insect to do it because the stamens on the outside and the stigma, I can't actually see it unless it's inside the centre of the flower there. It's a bit of an opening and needs some type of insect to pollinate by putting their proboscis down to the nectar and at the same time pollinising it. But yeah, like I said, easy flower, don't overwater it. I therein saw like full sun, but I've got shade cloth, which is roughly about, I don't know, say 70% shade, allows 70% sunlight come through. So yeah, I suppose where they are, they do get a fair bit of sun, but also too they get shaded by the outcrop of the rocks. But lovely plant. Really suggest to everyone to get their hands on a plant and grow their own, because the flowering is just magnificent. It's just a bouquet of pink flowers. But anyway, so this is my Tacitus Bellus from North Mexico. They grow up in the mountains, about over 1,000 feet. The soil is porous, good drainage, a lot of grit in it, so the water doesn't really stay too long in it. It dries out fairly easily. and I use a bit of coarse river sand, a bit of scoria, which is volcanic rock, about 10 mil, and a bit of peat moss, and also a bit of potty mix, which has been sieved. And I mix that all together and clump it in my hand just to see whether it falls apart. And if it falls apart, it's just a bit too, needs a bit more soil in it just to bind it a little bit. And then I do another clump in my hand again, squeeze it, open it, and if it stays together and you just press on it and it falls apart, it's just perfect. All right. I hope you like this bit of a video on the Tacitus Bellus plant, succulent, in flower, and yeah, enjoy. Catch you on the next one. Cheers. G'day everyone, here we are in the hothouse. And today we're looking at Tacitus Bellus, that's in flower. There's 8 pots here. This is the largest right here, which has got quite a fair few offsets. They come from Mexico, up in the mountains. They're mainly found amongst the rocky outcrop up there. Definitely need porous soil, as they're prone to root rot if water too much. So in watering, best to water properly, then let it dry out when it's totally dried out. Mainly water during the growing season, like at the moment, while it's in flower. And come winter time, sort of like reduce it. Just only water it, when the soil's totally dry. Like over here, I've got this one right here in front of us. Hasn't got any flowers, nor does that one right there, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 pots here that are actually flowering, coming in bloom or coming into bloom. Like these 2 right here, they haven't come into bloom. There's individuals, but I could say easy to grow. You can actually grow them from leaf cuttings. I have propagated these ones from leaf cuttings. I've actually propagated how many? I think 7 from leaf cuttings, and some of them have got say there's 2 offsets, or some have got 3. But most of them have got 2 offsets. Well, they've always been in the hothouse, but they do need cooler temperatures, they say, for it to go into flower. But really nice, lovely flower. This camera really doesn't do the flowers any justice, really. I'm only using a GoPro 7. And I've got another 2 on the other side. I'll show them to you. They're also in flower.